So I have my beautiful client here, Tracy, and she's had the most amazing health journey. And I know you guys are going to learn so much from hearing her story. And so thank you so much, Tracy, for agreeing to be brave and be recorded talking about your weight loss journey. So can you like give us just a quick recap of like what have your results been so far going through Keep It Off Academy?
Sure. I joined Keep It Up in January, and since that time, I have lost 28 pounds. I'm down about 7 inches. I feel like the inches should be more, but I'm so happy, incredibly happy with the progress I've made. I actually, when I started Keep It Off, I started it right before a hockey tournament. My son plays hockey. And I started in the middle of the week. I came and said, I need to start now because I need to know that I go into this tournament and I can work on my health and have something and people to hold me accountable. So, yes, we started then and it actually did work. I did really well on the tournament and started me. I actually did great through your program. I really expected food would be my hardest thing, and it ended up being movement. So the 13 weeks in the academy, I think I did really well. And then I stayed in your level 2 and I struggled a little bit for a month. So, but back on track now and super happy to continue to work on my goals.
I love that so much. So I'm curious because I didn't know this. Why did you think movement would be easier for you than food?
Food has always been a struggle for me. I've always overate. I love to eat. So I was a kind of person that I had a sweet tooth and I loved greasy food. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to give those things up. And I did to an extent. Like I still have something once in a while. I have little chocolates in my freezer and I'll take a piece and have it one or two a day. And that's my little go-to if I need something sweet. And if I want something, yes, I'll have it, but maybe I'll have 5 chips instead of a half a bag or a whole bag, which is what I would do before. I would just keep eating. And even when I wasn't hungry, I just ate. So, and that was one thing too. I remember you guys talking about like, trying saying don't snack, in between. But if you're feeling hungry, to give it a few minutes, drink some water, do something to distract yourself. And I really found like most of the time that I really wasn't hungry. I was just bored and I just wanted something to do. Or when I get stressed, that was my coping mechanism. I would eat. And just learning that those are not appropriate ways to handle things.
Yeah, and they don't turn off overnight, right? But when we give our body the right fuel, so then the cravings are lessened. And then when we're on the coaching calls, we can actually talk through the
Yes.
stressful events or the boredom, and we can like process it
Yep.
so that the next time it pops up, because it will again, you're better
Yes.
equipped to handle it, right?
And unfortunately, I was eating the wrong foods where I love eating now, but it's so much better and healthier for me and still just as good. So, but yeah, I just really thought movement, I would, be getting all my walks in and it wouldn't be such a big deal. And then I just kind of let doubt creep in for a little while there. And I was like, okay, I don't have this. I movement, I'm just not doing good at. And, I wish at that time that I would have reached right out to you guys and I did share that with our group and I really am so proud of women that reach right out to you guys because you guys are so valuable and what you have to teach us and what you've been teaching us and so I did finally reach out and we got me back on track and yeah, doing really good now. I feel much better.
And that's such a good little golden nugget right there that I wasn't even sure if you would share. But like, if you're an existing client or you ever become a client or you're coaching with another coach, I don't care. I want to see you succeed no matter where you're at. Listen to what she just said. So she delayed reaching out for help for about a month, was it, Tracy?
Yeah. Yep.
Where she was rocking it for 13 weeks, just totally crushing it. Like movement, food, everything is on point. Tracy's on all the calls, life's going great. And then things happen, right? Life happens, our brains happen, things happen, and we get sidetracked. And so she let it ride for like a month before being like, okay, I need support. And then as soon as she asked and she could talk through what she needed to talk to through, and we could do a little bit of the mindset work, boom, she's right back on track. So it's not even a big deal that she had that month of not doing things, because this is a lifelong journey, right? It's
Yeah.
not a big
Yep.
deal at all. But so if you're being coached by anybody, always when things are going bad is when you need a coach. That's when you need to reach out. Don't be ashamed and be like, well, I should have this by now. I've been doing this for so long, or I was on a good track and now I'm not. It's those moments where we need coaches, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's why I stayed in level, it went on into level 2, because I was like, okay, yeah, I'm doing okay, but let's just make sure I'm still not where I want to be at yet. I still wanted to lose a little bit more weight and learn a little bit more about, exercise and strengthening. And yeah, I was so glad that I did. Definitely in the encouragement we give and get from each other is just, it's awesome. You coaches are amazing and very encouraging. And then just the other women, and we're all going through these struggles and have been through them. And so it's just very encouraging to have that support group.
Can you tell us a little bit about like what was going on for you before you joined the Keep It Off Academy?
I literally have struggled with my body image my entire life. I've always thought I was fat. And really, I look back now in my 20s and even my late teens, I was actually very thin, but I just have a little bit bigger hips and butt. And so all my life I struggled. COVID hit me hard. I worked through all of it. I'm an OT by trade, and so I was doing home care. I was considered essential. I became so stressed, so fearful, so anxious, depressed, and I ate. I mean, I remember I would go out and I would have to go, to the bathroom somewhere. So I'd stop at a gas station and I would grab a pop, some type of chocolate, and some type of chips, like pretty much daily. And then I would hurry up and eat it so that my family didn't know I was eating all this crappy food. And because I was ashamed, right? So um, I I just continued to add on weight, and then I'm 50, almost 51, and so I bought into like the lies too, like, oh, you're perimenopausal, it's going to be really hard to lose weight. Oh, you have genetics against you. And I just like believed all that until I started learning from you, and I was like, wow, that's a bunch of crap. The things that the world tries to tell us, and it's not true. And so about I think about a year and a half ago, I reached out to you initially. I had done one of your challenges and I had lost some weight. And um, I wasn't working full time yet. I had taken like a leave of absence from my job just because I felt so horrible at that time. And I decided that I was not ready to join your program. And I really honestly think you have to be ready to make any type of change, right? And I know that if I would have done this back then, I might not have been as successful because my mind and my heart were not into it. But December of last year, it was like I was almost 200 pounds. I felt horrible, like going up. I live in a quad level house. So going up a flight of steps, I was short of breath. I was tired all the time. My favorite place to be at that point was my bed. I just wanted to sit there, rest, and watch TV. I was exhausted and everything hurt. I was like, holy cow, if this is how it's gonna be, this is awful. Like all my joints hurt. And it was because I was so overweight and it was just so unhealthy. And I just finally told my husband, I was like, I have to do something because there were times where I just felt like I was dying. I felt that bad. And I was like, I can't feel like this forever. And I didn't give my family time a day. I mean, I did the sports and the things that I had to go out for, but at home I don't think I was really present. And I see that now. There's so much more energy for my husband, my kids, my dogs. My dogs, I'm taking them for walks now, and they need it. I need it. So that's, yeah, kind of what was going on. And oh, I feel it's like night and day. I feel so much better.
I love how much better you feel. I love seeing all the fun things that you're out doing. Um, Did you try any other like diets or things like that prior to doing Keep It Off?
So over the years, I've tried various things. I have tried like curves, and I've tried oh gosh, Beachbody. And I had some success, but the problem with all of those things is they're a temporary, and they don't teach you what Keep It Off teaches you. Keep It Off isn't just saying, okay, you need to lose weight and you need to go on this many calories deficit. No, you're teaching us how to eat, what, and how to clean up, food so it's a little bit healthier. So, and we're not giving up everything that we love. You're still eating the things you love. You might be making it healthier, you might not eat it as much. But all the things I tried before were, yeah, diets. And I was like, that doesn't work. So I tried, yeah, calorie counting. And, at some point I was like, okay, diets don't work. I know that, but I just felt so stuck. And as an OT, like part of me was like a little embarrassed too. I was like, man, I like go and preach to my clients, like, you got to exercise and take care of yourself. But I wasn't truly doing that for me. And so, yeah, I tried those things. They were a fail.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common. Like we have a lot of professional women and Keep It Off, and especially in medicine. And it is like, man, we're here telling our patients and you got to do this and you got to do that. And then it's like, but I don't feel like I can really say that because I'm not taking care of myself. And oh, so yeah, I totally get that as a nurse who was also at one point in time not taking care of herself.
I,
So, okay, you lost 28 pounds, you're down about 7 inches, you said. You have told us so many things that you have experienced, clothes that you've gotten into, things that your husband has said. Like, could you give us like a laundry list of like, yes, it's the 28 pounds, but like, how are you feeling better because of those 28 pounds? Like, what's changing for you?
I realized when I started, like, okay, one of my goals was I want to lose weight. I want to be skinny. I want to look fit. And it's turned into like, yeah, I think I look great. And I know that there's still room for improvement, but I feel healthy. So I have the energy to go out and do stuff with my husband. We had a weekend getaway. We hadn't done that since I think our two older kids were really young. And just having that time for him, and we took our walks together, we went out to dinner together, and just feeling more confident and beautiful about myself. I have to say, I when I had gained all that weight, I was not liking who I was. I didn't like how I looked. I'm really blessed with my husband because he has loved me through it all, thick and thin, literally. And he has always just said, "You're beautiful." And I really appreciated that. But yeah, I was like, I didn't feel beautiful. So now I do. I feel confident. I know I'm healthier. I know there's still room for improvement. Like I said, I still have a goal of losing a few more pounds, and I'm really working on strengthening now. And just I'm loving that. I'm lifting. I'm 50 years old and lifting for the first time in my life. When I was growing up, nobody lifted. My family they were more on the sedentary side, and I didn't even know lifting was for girls. Like I did the little hand weights and I was like, okay, this is cool. I had no idea that women lifted until really I started with this program, and I was like, well, I want to do that. And it is so empowering when you lift. It's just, I love it, and I love how I feel after. And I want to encourage other women to do it, whether you're my age, a little bit younger, a little bit older. You modify where you're at, and oh, it's awesome. I hope I
Yeah,
answered your.
you did. And can you like I'm thinking back to like the woman that you described to us before joining and like how much pain you had and how low your energy was and you like had no frame of reference that people even lift weights. And like could you the woman who loved being in her bed so much, could you even imagine that like you'd feel this confident in your body and you'd be picking up really heavy things off of the floor and enjoying it?
Nope. I literally have never, I've most of my life I've not felt like I was beautiful, like I was healthy, skinny. And it took me 50 years to figure it out, and to and I think part of that comes from the mindset. What you guys teach us is, learning to love yourself and be grateful and thankful for what you have in your life. And it just took me a really long time to learn that. I hope other women will get it before me, but um, that was a huge, huge win for me, saying, wow, I feel beautiful. I told my husband the other day, I had my son videotape me doing squats just to know that I was doing good form. And my husband has said to me a few times, wow, you have gotten really skinny. And I was like, no, no. And I saw the video and I was like, oh my gosh, he was right. But more than that, like I look healthier. And, now it's about building strength and continuing on that pathway, because this is a lifelong journey. It's forever. I have to do these things forever. So I feel good.
And I'm going to share, you told us on the call the other day,
Yeah.
and if you want me to cut it out, I will, but that didn't you tell us that you got back down into a smaller size than
Yes.
you were pre-kids?
Yes, I'm actually down about 4 sizes. And I'm in a pant size now. Like even like shorts and tops, I'm wearing mediums again. And I was way beyond that before I started this. And yeah, it's funny too. I told you guys the other day that I've always had a big butt. I thought that was just normal. And I have been losing my butt so much that when I sit for too long, it hurts. And I'm like, I have to get up and move. And I even asked you that question, and you're like, girl, you just gotta move. And I was like, oh, okay. But I've never had, my butt's never been this small ever. So it's just like crazy. I was like, I just thought those things were normal. And I'm finding out that they're not. So I'm so excited. I'm like, I can't wait to just firm up a couple more areas and just keep building some.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Like I'm always trying to like grow my butt. My problem area is my belly. And with like the flat butt, right? And then but like we all have a problem area. And so for you, you said that you always had a booty and big hips, and like so does your family. And so you just thought, well, this is just the way that it is. And it's crazy when things just start changing. And it's crazy how fast they can change. So I mean, this doesn't sound rapidly fast. I mean, we're talking about 6 months.
Mhm.
But if
Yeah.
you look at how much really has shifted for you in that time and how much time we usually waste,
Yes.
like diet dabbling, I call it, where it's like, oh, I'm going to do keto, I'm going to do Weight Watchers, I'm going to do, and like, and nothing ever sticks. We've all wasted way more time than 6 months.
Right. For
So,
sure.
I mean, it seems like amazingly fast progress to me, an outsider watching it.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, obviously been a journey for me, but yeah, I mean, 6 months is really for the results. Like I've been doing my pictures every month. It's crazy. It is crazy to see those side pictures. And I did my stomach was huge. It was that perimenopausal stomach too. And I look at them now and I go, oh my gosh, I can't even believe that that's where I was 6 months ago. And I'm here now. And I was telling my husband, I'm like, this is the healthiest I've ever been in my life, even my 20s, even my younger years, because I didn't work out. I didn't exercise. Like I said, I would do walks here and there, things like that. I did a couple, like the beach body and, curves for fashion, but this is consistent, and I've just never had that for this long. And I know that it's forever. And I feel like I'm getting into a really good pattern with everything. And so super grateful to your program. I think your program just has it all. People say, oh, why is that so different? And I was like, you don't understand. It's like they're working with us on everything. They care about our results and about us on our journey. It talks about mindset. I love that you talk about spirituality, because I am a believer, and it's definitely made me be more appreciative for even my food, and just my family, everything. And there's just your thing's really the whole package. We'll just put it that way.
Well, good. I'm glad that that's how you feel, because I feel like, I made it that way on purpose, because to me, for women to lose weight and keep it off, it's all the things about us.
Yes.
It's the social aspects. It's the conversations that we have with our spouses, the support that we get or don't get from friends and family, what we culturally eat. Like it's so much more than just like, how much protein do I need? Like that's easy. I tell everybody that for free all the time that they don't go eat it, right? So
Absolutely.
so what would you say to somebody who's like on the fence about joining Keep It Off? They're like, oh, I don't know.
Say do it. No, I honestly, this is one of the best things I've ever done. I think as women, especially, and when we're moms and we have careers, we're put on the back burner, and we just, we take care of everybody else. But one thing I learned from this is if you don't pour into yourself, you're not really truly able to pour into other people. And I just say go for it, because if you're like me, I knew I needed other women to hold me accountable and help support me. And I knew that I needed coaching. I've tried to do this on my own for years, and these last 3 years have been awful. Just things, kept creeping up. The weight kept going up, and I was frustrated, and I was like, I just truly don't know what to do from here. So yeah, just put yourself number one. Okay. And I mean that in a sense, like, take care of you. Because when you take care of you, then you can take care of everybody else. You're worth it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. So much good stuff in here, Tracy. And I can't wait to watch the rest of your journey because things just keep getting better and better and better.
Thank you. I really appreciate you and Brittany and Debbie and Keep It Off.